Denim is in demand at Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston. Get cash on the spot for everything denim. Bring in your trendy and classic styles of gently used name brand denim. Get paid for your denim shorts, skirts, jackets, jeans, and more. We're looking for denim that is blue, black, or a bold color, and jeans in styles like mom jeans, bootcut, baggy, flared, and ripped. We want everything denim. Sell your denim for cash at Plato's Closet today. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of Hashtag Saints for the podcast coming at you. We are now officially, well, for the Saints, they've been in the offseason for a while, but officially now the offseason for the entire NFL starts. Super Bowl took place yesterday on my fucking birthday.
Happy birthday!
Appreciate you, bro. What a fitting birthday, and seeing two of my draft bays on fucking at Super Bowl just completely live up to their hype.
There's draft bay, and then there's Patrick Mahomes. You was sending me cut ups of Patrick Mahomes every day during that draft. Every day.
Don't take me back, bro. Don't take me back, bro. This is a two-time MVP and a two-time Super Bowl MVP in 6 seasons, Ryan. Don't take me back, bro. But I wanted to start at that Super Bowl, and we talked about it a little bit, kind of just watching the playoffs unfold in the NFL. And I put a tweet out earlier today that I think just shows, and I know this is a Saints podcast, but I think this can show just the difference in what good teams do and what not good teams do. So the essence of my tweet I put out was 2 years ago in the Super Bowl when the Chiefs got embarrassed by the Bucs because they offensive line was injured and even some of their starters were average at best, and Patrick Mahomes was out there scrambling for his life. That offseason, after that Super Bowl, they traded for Orlando Brown, traded their late first round pick. I believe that would have been the 31st overall pick in the draft to the Ravens for Orlando Brown. They signed Joe Thuney as a free agent. He was leaving the Patriots. And then they invested in 2 draft picks, Creed Humphrey in the second round. So in essence, their top 2 draft picks of that year was to address the offensive line. And then in the later rounds, I don't have it pulled up. I want to say it was maybe round 5. Got lucky, hit on Trey Smith, a guard who's been stellar for them since he's been drafted. And a complete one offseason. And this is after they went to the Super Bowl, not the playoffs. This is the Super Bowl. They identified that's our problem. That's it. And now, don't get me wrong. Some of this is just good scouting. But to me, when I was kind of like winding everything down from yesterday's Super Bowl and just really thinking of like, man. Now, yes, the Eagles got some pressure on Mahomes, but for the most part, they were able to neutralize what made that Philadelphia defense so great.
They had 78 sacks coming into the game, bro. 78 sacks on the season.
Didn't have one against Mahomes last night with the bum ankle, bro.
Bro, like that.
So it's so telling because it's like you have a team, and I'm. As a coach, Andy Reid is fantastic. He was on display last night. As a person, in his enabling ways, I have my issue with him. But I won't take away the fact that there was a problem on the football team that was identified, and it was like, what are we doing to fix this? And we're not going to wait and try to fix this over multiple off seasons. We fixing this all in one off season. And then I start reflecting on the Saints, and it's just like, so to a point, right? To a point, they are doing that. But I think going after a quarterback is a very easy solution, right? Because that's a glaring need. Everyone knows it. It's kind of like a huge thing. But I go like even deeper than that, and like, is there anyone in the organization that can scout or self-scout themselves? And that's something you and I have talked about over and over on this episode, that the team doesn't have an ability to self-scout itself. And that, to me, talent-wise aside, and not talent-wise aside, coaching aside, and all those things obviously hugely matter. But that, to me, is the biggest gap in why there are teams that are successful in the NFL and at their peak. And if we're looking at this Dennis Allen regime, of how the Saints may continually be behind the 8 ball when trying to get to that level of an NFL team.
Yeah, exactly. And, look, you can easily point to injuries and say, look, the Saints were injured, we were banged up. But man, at some point you gotta really look deep and see, how does my team really stack up? I can screw the win and loss record, screw, how they look versus certain teams during the season. How does my team really stack up player for player when you stack them up against other teams? And that's really what you're supposed to do. And I'm sure the Saints do that, because every team has a pro scouting department. Every team has a grade on every player on every team. But it's important to remove your internal bias and look at your team and really try to extrapolate if this player is actually good or not, or is it because we drafted this player? Is it because we invested multiple picks in this player? Is it because, what I'm saying? You have to throw all of that out and just look at the tape and take in the information, the medical, the makeup of the player, all that stuff, put it all together and see if it stacks up around the league, man. And, me personally, I think the Saints have a long way to go before they can even think about sniffing the Super Bowl. I know it's easy to say, oh, man, to get the right quarterback, man, play some good defense, they'd be right back in it. Man, it's so hard to get to the Super Bowl, bro. Like,
hard, Ryan.
Even if you got everything working right for you, it's hard. Even if everything works, even if your defense cold, running game, quarterback play, passing game, all of that, coaching, still hard to get there.
Hard, bruh.
Because you need luck on your side, you need injury luck, you need, referee luck, you need all kind of stuff to work out for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I just looked at it. I was watching them two teams, and look, man, like, say what you want about the Eagles, bro. And Jalen Hurts, he was cooking,
bro.
Outstanding game.
Outstanding.
The Philadelphia Eagles offense was outstanding. I mean, it was one of those games where I knew whoever had the ball last was going to win. And once the Chiefs were able to hold on that ball with 5 minutes left, there was the ticky-tack call at the end. But at the end of the day,
what's a ticky-tack
ball? It was ticky-tack, bro. Like, I feel like they didn't call, like, if they were like calling those calls all game, I'd have been like, okay. But like, just for them, like, like a little tug on the jersey, he didn't stop the player. Like, Juju was moving. It's not like he stopped, but it was the right call. Like, it was a hold. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right, it was a hold.
Question about it. You know what I'm saying? I just thought it was kind of ticky-tack. Like, if they didn't call it, I wouldn't have cared. If they did, it wasn't like, the Saints non-call where, it was just obviously egregious or whatever. But, it is what it is. Like, you can say what you want about it. It is what it is. Patrick Mahomes saw it immediately. That's why he threw the ball. So
the funny thing about that play is I called it before it happened. So when the Chiefs got the ball back, I said, Andy Reid has been doing this thing. Like, they got their 2 touchdowns off this action where they're motioning the receiver in. The Eagles defense gets confused in terms of switching it or trying to pass it. And then they just break the receiver route to the right. Wide open touchdown.
It's a hard play to cover, bro.
It's hard. I said, when they got the ball back, I said, Andy Reid's going to do something where he's feeling that Jonathan Gannon has figured this switch out or figured out how to pass it, but instead of breaking the receiver back outside, he's going to run basically an action where that receiver goes up the field off that action. And that's exactly what that play was. If you watch it, Juju goes inside and then he breaks it out, but he doesn't break it out horizontally. He pushes it up.
Yep, up, right.
And that's what led to the hold.
Right.
And that's just like chess match coaching, bro.
Oh,
and it's funny because I just felt it. I was like, Andy Reid's going to feel like the defense is adjusted to it, and when they're least expecting it, he's going to run some action off this where it's exactly the opposite of what he's been showing, and that's what they ran. Genius coaching is like, and just watching that game last night, Nick Sirianni, Andy Reid,
it was cooking.
It's just like, man,
it reminded me of that 49ers game with Sean Payton and Kyle
Shanahan. Yes,
and it was just cooking, bro. I was just like, Lord. And that was the whole reason why people like really was complaining about the call at the end, because it was building up to be such an epic ending, and then it was just kind of anticlimactic. It was like, oh well, they get the ball now, they run the clock down, kick a field goal, game over. You know what I'm saying? But it was the right call, like I said. But man, it was cooking, bro. I was like, ooh, and I'm like, man, this is some football right here, baby.
It was football, man. It was football, and it just really highlighted to us, at least to me as fans, of like,
Pete ain't cooking like that. You saying? So you telling me Pete can't cook like that, bro?
It's not even so much Pete, Ryan. It's just like our coaching staff, just in general, bro. I was just watching. Bro. I was like,
there's a record label and a crew.
I was like, man, we gotta, like, as fans, we gotta watch our coaching staff go against teams like this potentially on Sundays. Like,
Eagles bringing in Vic Fangio just to self-scout. Just to self-scout the offense. Like, man, that's
genius, Ryan. That's
genius. How would you attack us? You know what I'm saying? God damn.
It just really, speaking of where we stand, I don't know why around the NFL podcast, like, or putting out like there are things we learned, and they retweeted like looking back at what we learned from week 9 today on Twitter. And that was the Ravens Saints Monday Night Football game, bro. And that game was just a clear indication. Just clear indication. Wherever Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis thinks they are as a team, organizational wise, and take all the injuries out, bro. I don't care if we go back and rerun that game, and the Ravens are fully healthy and the Saints are fully healthy, the outcome would be almost identical. I am positive of it. Positive of it, right?
No question.
It's just a different weight class. So yes, the Saints should do what they need to do to try to get an upgrade at quarterback. And we'll get into that conversation later. But I want to even say like outside of quarterback, like I wish I could ask Mickey Loomis, after the season, you guys evaluated yourself after the season. Where are the areas that you feel that there needs to be improvement? That's just a very blanket kind of has a lot of room for answer, because I want to know. I know what I would say, but like I want to know what they would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have been on this train a while of just there's holes. The offensive line with the injuries are in tatters. We don't know what's going to happen at quarterback. Defensive line is a concern. Interior and edge rushers. Linebackers, pretty decent there, assuming that they bring back Caden Ellis. Obviously, DeMario's getting older, but you got a young and upcoming stud in Pete Warner. Secondary, you got Marshawn, you got Alante Taylor, Paul Sinadebo. Maybe it was just a sophomore slump. The safeties, Marcus May and Honey Badgers, I guess. And then running back, you got AK and no one else behind AK. There are holes on this team, right?
Holes, bro. And like I really just think they need to. I hope they really do a study, and they should. I know Sean Payton always talked about they study the Super Bowl teams every year, but they need to look at what's working, bro. Like, look, you need balance. You got to have good defense. There's no question about that. But this is an offensive-driven league, bro. You got to have offense, bro.
Whatever you say about defense, right? Like perfect. We just talked about the Super Bowl. 78 sacks. 78 sacks.
They got him there. The defense got him there.
You get to the biggest game. You go against an opposing quarterback that wears a cape, a Superman cape on his chest, bro. Bro, you better be able to put some points up.
You
got to do something.
So it's like that's where and the Saints are just so far off from that to be able to score and just score score with different type of ways. Because if you look at what they did, Jalen Hurts, he was throwing the ball, and when he was to the red zone, they was running the ball. Yeah, he was running, but they were throwing the ball. He was so good. He was putting the ball where it needed to be. And look, one thing that I'm impressed with Patrick Mahomes by is just a different way he won. If you go back to the Super Bowl a couple years ago against the 49ers, that's when he was young. He's still young, but that's when he was just coming into the league and just kind of Superman, making these second reaction plays. Everybody remember the 10-step drop to throw to Tyreek Hill, that just threw that thing 80 yards down the field. He ain't do none of that in this game. This game, I think he barely even touched 200 yards in this game, bro. It was a lot of death by 1,000 cuts, throwing to your tight ends, using the running game, just play and just gutting out runs when he had to. It was a whole totally different type of game that he had to win, and that's why I said on a couple of podcasts ago he's better than Brett Favre. Brett Favre couldn't do that. Brett Favre had to be Superman every game.
All the time.
And, Patrick Mahomes showing that he could win different type of ways. And I think that's why, he's going to end up one of the greatest ever played. And it's like, man, you end up going against him in the Super Bowl, bro. That's a tough draw. Just a tough draw, bro. Only thing I wonder about with him going forward is, I'm not questioning it, but I wonder how his fire burns, man. You won 2 Super Bowls, multiple time MVP. When you 32, is that fire still gonna be burning?
Right.
I don't know. He seems like a kid that'll always be competitive like that. You know what I'm saying? But you just don't know, man, because he's had a lot of success early, bro, which is just amazing.
I think I don't know him personally, but just everything knowing about him is that chip, he 100% remembers everyone that was drafted ahead of him in that draft class.
Oh yeah, no question.
Every single player, every quarterback, every he could probably give you top 10 without blinking, or top 9, I guess.
I remember the players that were recruited ahead of him in college.
Oh yeah, and and this is why I get to the point about Cliff Kingsbury, who was interviewing for OC for the Texans. Cliff Kingsbury, he had Baker Mayfield and he had Patrick Mahomes, both at Texas Tech. He saw every day what Patrick Mahomes was doing, and he was a gunslinger, and this is when he was still being molded, right? But he saw it. He saw the vision of Patrick Mahomes before anyone else did. Had Baker Mayfield as a top recruit, and he was just sorry, bro, but number 5 gonna start. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
It led to Baker transferring to Oklahoma, and then Baker developed this huge chip against Texas. It was a whole thing. But that said, it's interesting you bring up the point about him winning a different way, and I'll never forget. I think he went on the Shop, LeBron show with not Rich Paul, skipping whose name it is, but he went on the Shop. I think the year after he won that Super Bowl, maybe it was 2 years after. And I remember he said he was just saying like, well, I'm still kind of learning the game. It's like the game is just now finally slowing down for me. And I was like, oh shit, that's scary.
Yeah.
But last night was a perfect example of it, because if you take last season for the Chiefs and you take even this season, everyone started changing how they played them defensively. Cover too high shell, not getting beat over the top. So if he's had about a season and a half or about 2 seasons of him and Andy Reid figuring out how to win these games, maybe we can't go that long ball and throw a 50-yard, 60-yard, bomb on a defense, but we still got to be able to move the ball consistently and score points. And so you said it perfectly. It was a death by 1,000 cuts. Now, the reason he's able to do that, as soon as that ball is snapped, he reads the defense, boom, 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 ball's out.
Yeah,
ball's
exactly.
out. But to that point, it's really getting back to the Saints is like you said, right? You said about when they get, like, perfect example with the Eagles when they got into the red zone. You got to be able to score different ways. And I think that's, as a fan, it makes it a little more frustrating, because you telling me with a straight face, you got an offense that has Alvin Kamara on it, Chris Olave most of the time on it, a rising, up and coming decent tight end and Juwan Johnson, and you telling me you can't figure out nothing in the red zone? You can't.
Olave, it's like we can't come up with nothing,
bro.
And that's what's crazy, because when you watch those two teams last night, you knew if they were inside the 15, they were scoring.
Touchdown.
It's touchdown. They going to figure out, they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to get a touchdown. And with the Saints, it was like, damn, we moving the ball good, but I know once we get in the red zone,
nice.
We kicking the field goal if we make the field goal.
Will Lutz. Okay.
I don't want that life no more, Adam. I don't want it.
Like, and maybe they did this some point during the season. I missed it, but like, I'm just thinking, just my dumb mind. Like, we could have run a formation where like AK, Olave, and like Shaheed is in the trips formation at any point, like during the season, bro. Like not once.
Just something, man.
Not even bringing up the fact that Taysom Hill is a great weapon in and of himself. Right?
Oh my God.
You got Taysom Hill, you got AK, and you got Chris Olave, Juwan Johnson, Shaheed, and you couldn't figure out how to cook something up in the red zone. You couldn't. Okay, let me stop.
And here's another thing that's just crazy to me, bro. And like, I'm not comparing Taysom Hill to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is by far a better player, period.
Yes.
But it's just crazy to me that we had Taysom Hill all these years.
No,
and they never really had a Taysom Hill offense. It was always like assumed like, if they get Taysom Hill in there, it's that takes Taysom Hill offense that'll run. But it was just like the Saints offense. It was the normal Saints offense, and they had Taysom Hill running it, and even though he's not a good passer. And it was like, I'm always was like, what would it look like? What would happen? What would happen if, like, Nick Sirianni and his crew had Taysom Hill in their system? Like, he wouldn't be as good as Jalen Hurts, obviously, but I bet you it'd be kind of spicy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh, yes.
It'd be a little spicy. You know what I'm saying?
A little cayenne on that bitch.
It is just always comes back to coaching, bro. Comes back to coaching, man. Like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? What are y'all doing to spice this thing up? If this running game not working, try a different running game. If your personnel doesn't fit this type of running game, if it doesn't fit like a power downhill running game, does it fit an outside zone? Does it fit an inside zone? You don't know how to teach that? Bring your coaches that know how to teach it.
They too busy firing them, bro.
They're too busy firing people, bro. It's like, what the hell?
You brought up the running game. I want to emphasize this as well. And a lot of it was because of Kansas City's offensive line. But if you watched Chiefs games this season, when 10 got on the field, that's Pachenko, who they drafted in the 5th round. So he was a rookie this season. You could just tell he ran hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hard. Like even the Super Bowl, bro. Like the way he was running, like it was just running. You got AK. If you can't go into this upcoming season without having a running back 2, or maybe you trade AK and whatever, but you got to have something. Like if Dennis Allen wants his version of whatever his gross looking fucking dream offense is,
right.
You tweeted this, or we tweeted it last week, and it caught my attention. And I don't know how realistic it is, but Josh Jacobs was talking during the Super Bowl media circuit about the Saints and potentially could be in a fit. And you could sell me. You could sell me on an offense that has AK, Josh Jacobs, Olave, Shaheed. Offensive line still got to be figured out. And that's mostly just a health thing. And then whatever you could get at quarterback. You give me that version of an offense, even if Pete Carmichael is the offensive coordinator, which he's going to be. An offense like that suits how DA wants to right. attack defenses, bro.
And if that's what you want to do it and be nasty at it. Go get a big nasty guard. Go get a tight end that knows how to run block. Go get your 2 running backs and just do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it and be nasty with it. I'll root for the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to go in there and throw the ball 80 times, 40 times a game. Like, I just want you to do whatever you're going to do it well. And where the Saints, they've really done nothing well. It's like, you know what I'm saying? They're not passing the ball well, not throwing the ball well. It's nothing, man. Like, give me something that you can hang your head on and say, man, when you play the Saints, you're going to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you're going to deal with this. Nobody's saying that right now. Nobody. No defense is sitting up. No defense coordinators like, ooh, man. How are we going to deal with this?
None of them, Ryan.
Even AK, they probably looking at it like, man, look how they're using Alvin Kamara. Oh, shit. We good. You know? Got this man in the I formation.
I know defensive coordinators be looking at their film like, did they take AK off the field on third down? They making my job easy.
Making my job easy, boy.
Man, the DC for opposing teams put his feet up on the table. Like, shit.
We good, man.
We good.
Yeah, like 4 personnel packages. That's all we need. We good.
Trying to think anything else from the Super Bowl. And I just also want to we talked about this before, right? Of how impressive it was for Howie Roseman to completely rebuild this team of the Eagles. And even though they didn't win last night, they completely had a run of going to the Super Bowl in a completely different manner and method of that, at least offensively, of that first team, right? Mm-hmm. That went and beat the Patriots. One other thing I want to say about last night. So CD makes 2 huge plays on that final drive that Kansas City had. One of them, he obliterated Pachenko, bro. Had him taking some deep breaths. It reminded me a little bit of that hit he put on the receiver against the Titans a little bit, bro.
I almost tweeted that. I was like, damn, that's just like that Titans hit.
It was, bro. It reminded me of that. And then another play, a couple of plays later, Pachenko goes to the outside, and if CD doesn't...
Beautiful range. I mean, CD shot that motherfucker.
Shot it, bro. And if he's not there, that's a touchdown. If Pachenko doesn't... And I just tweeted, the Dennis Allen, because of him being insecure in himself, got a little lip from CD and just decided that his defense didn't need that. Just said, no, don't need it. Get it off the tee.
I thought about that right there. I thought about the amount of speed that left just with those 2 moves with him and Marcus Williams. The amount of speed on defense they just sent away.
Speed and range, bro.
That's just malpractice, bro. That's malpractice, man.
Speed and range when you're looking for fucking players to draft, or you're looking for players to sign in free agency, if you're a defensive coach, what is the first thing you're hoping that those players have?
That's it.
Speed of range, Ryan.
That's it.
And then people were like, people got my mentions like, oh, well, they didn't miss CD. Blocked. Didn't have time for it. I don't have time to just engage with just stupidity. I just don't want it on my life, don't want it on my timeline, my mentions. Just go away. If you can, with a straight face, truly tell me that the Saints defense did not miss Chauncey Gardner-Johnson last season, then you're blocked. I'm sorry. I don't have anything to discuss with you because you don't conceptually understand football. I'm sorry.
And another thing is like the Eagles used him how they should, like the Saints should have used him.
Bingo.
Back at the safety spot.
Bingo. Which
he showed all pro talent at the safety spot.
I don't remember if we were. I don't know if we were. Were we recording? No, we weren't recording. But like, I remember when Von Bell got injured that stretch during CD's rookie season, and CD played strong safety for however many games it was. I think it was like 4 or 5 games, however many it was. As good as he had played up to that point at the nickel, when he moved to strong safety, bro, it was a completely different player.
Completely different player. Because he was able to show his range and that big stick he carry. You know what I'm saying? Like he was able to show that. Whereas, you know, as a coverage player, he was still good. He was really good as a coverage player, but it's still different. You know, it's a different impact. So, you know, it's just, man, like it's what annoys me is not just that they make that move, is that I know that they sit back right now feeling confident that they made the right move.
Say it again, bro.
That's what annoys me. I know they're sitting there like, oh, we made the right move getting rid of him. You know, like
that's 100% how they're thinking right now.
And that's what annoys me, bro. Because I know that's what they're thinking.
And the reason why that's annoying is that to us as fans, that still shows us that you as an organization you don't understand it. You don't get it.
Right.
You don't get it. Let's talk about this Derek Carr thing. So we recorded. They hadn't met with him. He was going to meet the next day. So we recorded last Tuesday, I want to say. And so he met with the Saints Wednesday, and then they went to Ralph's, and then on Sunday. Wednesday and then Thursday. So he met with the Saints 2 days in a row. Wednesday, Thursday. Derek Carr even brought the wife, bruh. You know, signs will deliver, bruh. Signs will deliver.
Spent 2 days with him.
2 days, right? Then word comes out Derek Carr went back to the Raiders, was like, yeah, I don't think I want to be traded anymore. Can you just go ahead and just release me? What? So I want to walk the listeners through this timeline real quick. Just a little quick walkthrough. So initially, Derek Carr and his agent approached the Raiders and said, I want to start permission to start speaking to other teams. I know you guys are going to cut me. So I want you guys to give me permission to speak to other teams to see if I can work out a trade. I have a no trade clause. So, you know, this needs to be a team that I'm going to sign off on and waive that no trade clause. At first, the Raiders persisted and said, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, blah, 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 whatever, trying to play hardball. And then, you know, Derek Carr's agent was like, okay, cool, bet. And they knew that for the most part, they had all the leverage because they know that either the Raiders have to cut him or they have to trade him. So at some point, the Raiders say, all right, we'll start giving you permission to speak to teams. And so that's how the Saints got involved. That's how speak to teams, work out a trade. Same thing. Same like the Sean Payton thing. I'm pretty sure the Saints spoke to the Raiders ahead of time or vice versa in terms of like if the meeting goes well and Derek Carr agrees to it, you know, we'll waive the no trade clause and it's what the compensation is going to be. Bing, bang, boom, boom. How do you go from yes, I want to talk to other teams. Me and my agent want to talk to other teams, and I want to be traded. To then you talk to one single team, and it's like, nah, don't trade me. Just outright release me. So I'm gonna say something that's, I'm not breaking a source or anything like that. It's because this was out there. It's reported. So during the meeting, when the Saints were meeting with Derek Carr, the contract comes up, what his contract is. And the Saints, I don't know if it was DA, I don't know if it was Mickey, I don't know who it was. Basically was like, we really want you to come here, want you to be face of our franchise, be a quarterback. So you just take a pay cut.
Yeah.
The analogy I used to a friend earlier is, in this analogy, Derek Carr is pretty decent looking female. She's been on a dating app for a while. Matches with a guy. Thinks the guy, she's matched with other guys, been talking to some other guys, but there's this one guy, she was like, you know what? Just something about him. Our conversation's been a little good. I'm not really talk to these other guys anymore. Like, this one's the one that's really getting my attention. Like, I text with him more or whatever. Let's go out. Let's go have a date. See if the chemistry in person is how it is when we text. The guy comes to the date looking fly, got a fresh suit on, got some fresh cologne on. They had, I don't know. They had Cheesecake Factory. Everything's going great. You're having a great conversation. Check comes out. Guy goes, checks for his wallet, patting himself down. Oh shit. Hey babe, I know this is really embarrassing for me right now, but do you mind paying for this date that we I can't I don't even know where my wallet is right now. Soon as she get home, she going through the app like, all right, who else was I talking to? Because this nigga ain't about shit.
This ain't it.
That is the best analogy I can give about the whole Derek Carr situation. I'm not saying that the Saints may not be able to sign him, but I think Derek Carr realized during those talks that, one, I'm worth something to somebody. I tweeted it today. I know the timeline, I'm going to argue about it and probably disagree, but Derek Carr is the biggest quarterback to hit free agency since Kirk Cousins.
Catch those springtime vibes all over Arizona. Break out of the winter blues by hitting the water at one of our lake and river parks. Take a hike among the wildflowers. Just make sure to stay on the trails and leave the flowers for the bees. Discover Arizona's best kept secret and visit azstateparks.com/amazing to start your springtime adventure.
Denim is in demand at Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston. Get cash on the spot for everything denim. Bring in your trendy and classic styles of gently used name brand denim. Get paid for your denim shorts, skirts, jackets, jeans, and more. We're looking for denim that is blue, black, or a bold color. And jeans in styles like mom jeans, bootcut, baggy, flared, and ripped. We want everything denim. Sell your denim for cash at Plato's Closet today. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Here's the fact, bro. In order for Saints, if they wanted to make that move, they had to blow him away. They had to blow Derek Carr away. Like, people keep talking about the compensation to Raiders. That doesn't matter. That's like
had nothing to do with anything.
That's just like a technicality you had to check off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nothing. You had to blow Derek Carr away and make him want to come here. And they didn't do it.
Period.
Like, they didn't do it. Whatever it was, whether it was the money, whatever they proposed, what we're hearing and what you're hearing, obviously, was the money. And look, it's an interesting case because, the Saints do have to draw a line as far as, like, what they want to play a player like that. but they also have to realize where they're at. Like, you are no longer the premier organization with all these wins and, with the Hall of Fame head coach and all this stuff. That's gone, bro. That's gone. You got to rewind the clock back to pre-2006 where you have to overpay players to come here. You know what I'm saying? It's back to that. And it's like they don't want to believe that. They don't want to believe that's where they're at. Now, would that have been a good move to overpay, and really, blow away Derek Carr? I don't know. Like, we would never know why that would have played out. But you're going to find out the other end of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that other end ain't looking too pretty, at least right now. You know what I'm saying? That shit is ugly, boy.
So right now, I think he's officially released or will be soon. I don't know, but whatever. But right now, now this man got suitors. He got the Jets after him, the Commanders, the Titans. There's one more, or the Panthers and the Saints. That is 5 teams. At that point, bro, if you Derek Carr, bro, you and your agent, you tell your agent, hey, working magic, kind of see what the best you can get, and then I'm sure what he's doing is probably looking at it from a money contract standpoint, financially, where's the best place for me to go? And also from a football standpoint, where's the best place for me to go that I can have success, I can whatever, be on a good team. Right. And then maybe one team's offering the most money, but it's not the best football fit, right? And then at that point, he has to make the decision what's best for his career or whatever. But the Saints went from a position where they had were like the lead dogs. And I guess it all kind of makes sense, bro, because if you really think about it, bro, if you haven't, all the shit we talked about Dennis Allen, is it really that surprising that he had 2 days to kind of seal a deal or whatever, and he couldn't get it done? Like, it's not surprising at all, bro.
No, that's not surprising. And the one storyline I hate is, Derek Carr, DA drafted Derek Carr. Like, stop it. Like, he was fired 4 games into that season. Like that season was a disaster, bro. Like, what's
yeah, but they
probably brought up bad memories when they got together. Like, oh, Derek Carr probably like, oh shit, I remember this shit sucked.
Because he was there when they had his first training camp under Dennis Allen, bro. So he probably and as much I'm not saying what he did was right. But I'm very positive that at least when John Gruden was Derek Carr's head coach, in terms of details, especially offensive details, John Gruden was on top of it. That's not so. But if he probably remember how it was with DA and it was the summer school environment, bro, just he's like, I'm not gonna learn this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So back to that. So am I going to elevate here? I don't know.
Right. So now the Saints find themselves competing for Derek Carr with 4 other teams. Do I think had they went into those talks and maybe have not asked Derek Carr to take a pay cut from his current contract if it could have been consummated? Maybe. I would say probably more than likely. But now it's kind of you already feel like I don't want to say you burned the bridge, but it's you already kind of not seen in the best light. And then, like you said, the Saints at some point have to draw a line in the sand of how much they're willing to pay. But you posed this question in the Discord today. And you said, if the Saints miss out on Derek Carr, what then?
That's the ultimate question. That's the ultimate question.
Bro, you was throwing some names out, and I just said, my God, we are fucked, Ryan. Fucked. Fucked. Fucked.
That shit get ugly quick, bro.
And then Briere puts out an article today that says the Saints might be interested in Baker Mayfield, Ryan. I don't want to go. I don't want to be here no more. Sean, take me with you. This is dire, bro.
Mayfield, man.
The only way that I'd be okay with Baker is Sean McVay coming too.
Talk about Baker the Pete.
Oh Lord!
Baker gonna be cursing Pete out, man. Fuck up, boy. Fuck
up. Everywhere Baker's gone, he's had receivers talk shit about him. First it was Odell, then it was Jarvis, then it was DJ Moore. Now Chris Olave gonna be complaining about Baker Ryan. I don't want it. I don't want it. Can't do it, Ryan. I can't do it. And I say I can't do it, but I know that obviously we have no fucking choice in this. I think fans need to buckle up because
buckle up, baby.
If the Saints strike out on Derek Carr, it's like, okay, then what? Maybe you could pivot to Jimmy G. And
Jimmy G gonna have suitors now.
He is. At least Jimmy G's handsome. I could deal with that. But if they strike out on Derek Carr and Jimmy G, Lord.
Then you talk about Brissett, Teddy Bridgewater, Tyler Huntley. It's just, me personally, I would try to shoot for the high upside. Like if I'd been signed on Garoppolo, I'm like, okay, I'm not about to spend a bunch of money on a quarterback. So I'm just shooting for upside then. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Tyler Huntley or, Sam Darnold, I hate to say it. Not great options, obviously. Not great options. No. But it's like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the house we live in right now. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta see what happens with the draft. Maybe you're in position to move up for somebody or someone falls to you. You'll see, but that's just the house you're living in at that point, bro. But I think the mistake they could make is paying big money for below average quarterback.
Yes.
Like, you want to pay big money for like Derek Carr, overpay him? I could handle that. I can handle that. Look, it'll be overpaying, but look, you're going to be getting at least decent quarterback play, good quarterback play. And once you start getting to the Brissetts and all that stuff, man, like don't be spending no 25, 30 million.
Man, I know there's not a situation where this could happen. I just know it, bro. But if you get to that point, it's like, can y'all not get DA and Jameis in a room?
Right? Like, just figure this shit out.
Like, I'm not like if you posing it to me where if they strike out on Derek Carr, they strike out on Jimmy G, and now the options you presented to me are Teddy Bridgewater, Jacoby Brissett, Baker Mayfield, Tyler Huntley. You trade, you send the Ravens a pick for him, whatever. But let's say that doesn't materialize, and those are your only backup concurrent plan options. Man, if y'all don't go in a room and talk this shit out, try to figure some shit out, because like if you cut Jameis, you still cutting Jameis or releasing Jameis, I believe leaves $10 million in dead money on the cap. If I remember correct, I would have to pull it up. Don't quote me on that. But it's like y'all cap situation, y'all money already funny. Like, can you just save that potential $10 million in cap space and not release Jameis and just figure that shit out for a fucking season?
For real.
That would be the smart thing to do, but like I know that's not how this team operates most of the time under Dennis Allen, so I won't keep my hopes up. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the whole Lamar Jackson stuff. Ian Rappaport and the whole crew, Gorfolo, Palasaro, whatever, pretty much puts out a report this past weekend on Saturday that essentially said the Ravens plan to, give Lamar Jackson the franchise tag, which we've all known that was coming. But there's a potential option where, so yes, I had to pull this up. So if they cut Jameis this year, that is $11.2 million in dead money. And $4.4 million in cap savings. You're telling me that you can't fucking whatever. Sorry. I just had to look it up to just see. That if the Ravens and Lamar Jackson cannot figure out a deal, that the Ravens potentially would be open to trading Lamar if they were blown away by a huge bounty of draft picks. Your reaction to that when that news came out?
I'm not sending a bounty for Lamar. I love Lamar, bro. I love him.
Not doing it, bro.
Love him.
Not doing it, bro.
But you got to look at what the Saints are, bro. You say you send 3 first-round picks, and you got to pay him $50 to $55 million a year. I mean, Lamar wouldn't do it. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Lamar would do it. Lamar would, that would be the end of his career. He would be on such a piss poor team for the next couple of years. There would be no semblance of a Super Bowl. It would be hustling backwards to me, bro. Hustling backwards.
Oh, I didn't mean it. I don't think I necessarily mean it for the Saints. I just meant in general.
Or would a team do it? Period.
No, just the idea that Lamar potentially could get traded.
I don't think I don't believe it, bro. I don't believe it. It's just, man, this is negotiations, man. Lamar wants to be the highest paid quarterback, period. Wants to be the highest paid quarterback. Ravens are probably willing to make him that with some protections for themselves.
I mean, the protections are, they're not, at least in the last contract negotiation, they only were guaranteeing $133 million.
Right. So, that's great money. Don't get me wrong, but it's not, it's not a Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? So that's obviously the sticking point for Lamar, and he should for that. He should, but man, where he is as a player, and what scares me about him, man, his body has deteriorated down the stretch. 2 seasons, both last 2 seasons started off hot, looking just beautiful, and then as the season wears on, breaks down, man, because of the way he plays. I don't know. I don't know if I could deal with that long term, and that's what the Ravens are thinking. The Ravens want Lamar. They're thinking, man, we want you, bro, but they're thinking man, can I really invest in this long term with the way you got to play?
It's tough, bro.
And nobody want to hear it because everybody love Lamar, and I love Lamar. I get it, but that's just the business side of the situation, And he gonna get paid, bro. At the end of the day, he's gonna get paid.
Oh yes.
I just hope I hated that he got injured this past season because he was putting it all online. If he could, if he got to play on that franchise tag, man, I just hope he stays healthy.
Healthy, man.
And and gets better as a passer too, because look, I mean, Jalen Hurts shows you can do it. You can get better as a passer and keep your running ability. Because if he does that, man, he gonna get broke off majorly.
Yes, without question. Without question. I mean, I think that's pretty much everything we had to catch up on. The next couple of days are going to be very interesting. Obviously, free agency doesn't start until March, but still.
And if Derek Carr is released tomorrow, he could sign tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I don't think he has to wait. So it's just gonna be interesting, man. Just how it all plays out. Seeing where Derek Carr is going to land, and just seeing how the Saints just kind of handle all this. We have the combine coming up towards the end. It still hasn't hit me, man. The
get that mold, bro. Gotta get that mold, baby.
It's not coming, bro. It's like when I'm trying to hit it to wake it up. Like, get up. No, bro.
Slap the cup.
I'm trying, bro. It's just no, it's not in me, bro. I think when we were texting about this, you said it best, man. Just like a Dennis Allen led team, bro. Just
don't get your hat, man.
Just don't get. I don't even want to look at no prospects, Ryan. I used to love looking at prospects. Like prospects. Nothing, man. Just nothing. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. If you are a Patreon member, or even if you're not a Patreon member, but I think the only people who order the jerseys are Patreon members. The official hashtag Saints for the Podcast jerseys officially arrived today. They came out great. I am very, very, very ecstatic of how good they came out. The thing I guess I kind of forgot when I ordered them is when you think about a jersey, I think in my head I was thinking about when you buy like a sporting jersey from like a sporting goods store,
football jersey.
Yeah, and how kind of like loose they fit, right? But like these are like fitted for like actual like actual teams.
I'm really gonna be out here looking like Ashawn Robinson.
Stop, bro. Bro, you put that shit on. You walk down Bourbon. You hit a 3-point stance, bro. I bet you get some autographs. Yeah. I'm on the practice squad. might get called up tomorrow. But they truly did come out great. So I will start to ship those out to everyone this upcoming weekend. Obviously, with the offseason quickly approaching and being on the forefront, I did want to just leave a quick thing in regards to, yes, it's the offseason, but as a podcast, we are still looking forward to the next season. We're doing the huge, big LA get-together for the Rams game next season. Know there's a lot of West Coast, California Saints fans. But remember, if you want to come through, gotta be a Patreon. Don't know what the plans are officially what we're doing, but work on that as that gets closer. And then obviously the big one is the big get together in New Orleans. Obviously we don't know what game it's going to be. Schedule's not come out yet, but I don't know, man. Depending on when I think that Jazz game might be the game, bro. Like I gotta see when that falls on the schedule. But Saints, Jags just has a good feel. Like that would be a good meetup game for whatever reason. But we'll work on that as schedule and that gets closer. So thank y'all for all the support. We truly, truly appreciate y'all more than y'all ever know. We'll continue to do episodes as news comes out from the league and what have you. We'll continue to put out episodes. Don't be surprised that now that it is the off season, we might do a couple episodes that has nothing to do related to football. Me and Ryan might just start fucking The Last of Us fucking podcast. Just start talking about The Last of Us for fucking an whole episode.
Let's go.
Whatever the fuck we want to do, bro. Don't even fucking care. But thank y'all for the support. We truly appreciate it. We couldn't be here without all the support, your listens, your retweets, liking on Instagram, on Facebook, all that y'all do for us. We notice it, we see it, we thank y'all. We'll be back when it is time for us to come back, whenever that is, maybe this week, maybe next week, but we will be back with that.